Reported Speech Part 1. As I have said, today we will learn reported speech and its various changes. So let's go right into it. What is reported speech? Well, reported speech is the speech which tells you what someone said, but it does not use that person's exact words. It is also known as indirect speech. For example, John said, "I am not well." Now, if I want to report this speech, it will be like this. John said that he was not well. I am reporting what John said. That's why it's called reported speech. Another one. Mary said, "I will go home." Reported speech. Or when I report it, it's Mary said that she would go home. So I'm just reporting or telling what Mary had said. That is reported speech. We go into changes. The change of pronouns in reported speech. Pronouns change according to the subject of the reporting verb in the reported speech. Look, he said, "I am busy." The answer is, he said that he was busy. Now I can't say, he said that I was busy. Why? Because the subject of the reporting verb is he. Look, he. That's why he said that he was busy. Think carefully, now think which pronoun you need to use. Think. I said, "I will be late." Answer, I said that I would be late. Now here it is I said. So in the answer also it would be I would be late. Okay? It cannot be you or me, I. Think carefully about this pronoun. The next one, they said, "We will not permit this." Answer, they said that they would not permit that. Oh, so who said it? They said. Now in the answer, we can't say they said that we would not permit that. Think carefully. Think carefully. They said. So it would be they said that they would not permit that. Fine? We continue with changes of pronouns. He said to me, "You have to come with me." Answer, he told me that I had to go with him. Why is it I in the answer? Look, because he said to me. Right? Now you can't say, he told me that you had to go. How can that be? He said to me, so he told me that I had to go with him. Next one. She said to me, "You can go." Answer, she told me that I could go. Why is it I again? Because she said to me. That's why I could go. Followed? The last one here says, he said she is a good girl. Answer, he said that she was a good girl. Now he's talking about that that girl. So it is she. It cannot be he or I or me, she. So think carefully when you are changing the pronouns. Okay, look at the subject of the reporting verb. Then you would decide. Okay? Now you must note the change in these words. When you see these words, you've got to change them. Alright? This changes into that. These changes into those. Now becomes then. Here becomes there. Today becomes that day. Tomorrow changes into the next day or the day after. Can changes into could. May becomes might. Shall becomes should. Will becomes would. Ago becomes before. Yesterday changes into the previous day. And finally, last night changes into the previous night. So when you see these words, you got to change it. And you must learn these changes. You must keep them in your mind when you see them in a speech. Change in tenses. Tenses change in reported speech. The simple present tense changes into the simple past tense. For example, she said, "My brother drives the car." Answer, she said that her brother drove the car. The word drives is simple present tense, and the word drove is the simple past tense, right? Next one, Harry said, "I opened the window." Answer, Harry said that he opened the window. Open is simple present tense, and the simple past tense is opened. Remember, the simple present tense changes into the simple past tense. The present continuous changes into the past continuous. Look at the example. He said, "I am reading a book." Answer, he said that he was reading a book. Am reading, which is present continuous, changes into was reading, past continuous. Next, the children said, "We are playing." The answer, the children said that they were playing. Are playing, present continuous, changes into were playing, past continuous. Tom said, "Mother is cooking food." Tom said that mother was cooking food. Note, is cooking, present continuous, changes into was cooking, past continuous. Once again, the present continuous changes into the past continuous in reported speech. Then we have here the simple past tense changes into the past perfect. Look at this. He said, "Bill arrived on Saturday." Answer, he said that Bill had arrived on Saturday. Arrived is simple past. Had arrived is the past perfect. Next, Anil said, "My father did the work." Answer, Anil said that his father had done the work. Did is simple past. Had done is the past perfect. So remember, the simple past tense changes into the past perfect tense. What about the present perfect? The present perfect tense changes into the past perfect. Look at these examples. The old lady said, "I have forgiven my son." Answer, the old lady said that she had forgiven her son. Have forgiven is present perfect, and had forgiven is the past perfect. Next one. I said, my friend has painted the wall. Answer. I said that my friend had painted the wall. The present perfect has painted changes into the past perfect had painted. Remember, present perfect changes into past perfect. And the past continuous. The past continuous changes into the past perfect continuous. Examples. They said the doctor was checking him. Answer. They said that the doctor had been checking him. Look, was checking, the past continuous changes into had been checking, past perfect continuous. Example number 2. You said I was living in Delhi. Answer. You said that you had been living in Delhi. Was living, past continuous, changes into the past perfect continuous had been living. And so the past continuous tense changes into the past perfect continuous. Followed. Now we take a look at different forms of reported speech. First, the reported speech in statement forms. And we have to remember here that we use that conjunction, that joining word that over here. That. Example. Rahul said, I like the movie. Answer. Rahul said that he liked the movie. The girl said, I'm writing a letter. The girl said that she was writing a letter. The boy said to the girl, I bought this for you. The boy told the girl that he had bought that for her. Now, statements are just straight sentences. They are not questions or commands or requests. Straight sentences like this. Now, as we had learned, look at Rahul said, I like the movie. I like. Like has been changed into liked. Simple presence had become the simple past. And I like has become he like. The pronoun I became he. Take note of all these things. These changes. The girl said, I am writing. I am writing. Answer, the girl said that she was writing. Am writing, present continuous, changes into was writing, past continuous. And I am writing becomes she was writing because the girl was writing, right? Same way, you look at the last sentence, the boy said to the girl, I bought this for you. The boy told the girl that he had bought. Bought, simple past, right? Had bought, past perfect, as we had learned. Okay? And the pronoun changes I into he because the boy said to the girl. So it will only be he, right? It cannot be I. Think carefully when you are changing. Now these are all the statement forms example we have seen. And now we look at the reported speech in question forms. Questions. Here I want you to remember, do not use that word that in question reporting. Don't use it. And if you can answer the question with a yes or no, then you can use the words if or whether. Okay, we look at the example, then we'll understand better. And if you cannot answer the question with yes or no, then you look at the verbs carefully and change accordingly. Example, Peter said to me, "Are you preparing dinner?" Answer, Peter asked me if I was preparing dinner. Now this question, "Are you preparing dinner?" can be answered by yes or no, right? That's why we have used if I was preparing dinner. Fine? Next one. He said, "Jim, where are you going?" Answer, he asked Jim where he was going. Take careful note here, children. Look, where are you going? Can you answer this question with yes or no? Where are you going? Can you say yes, no? It will sound so funny, right? You cannot answer this question with yes or no. So you don't use if or whether here. You change like this. Look at the question. Where are you going? And the answer is where he was going. Where are you? Where he was. Look, note this change where many of us make mistake. Note this change. Where are you? Where he was. I hope you got that. The last one, I said, Bob, do you know the way to the mall? Now you can answer this question by yes or no. That's why we will use whether or if here. I asked Bob whether he knew the way to the mall. So these are some good examples of question forms in reported speech. Remember what we had learned just now. Commands and requests in reported speech. The most important thing to remember, once again, do not use that word that here, but use to or not to. Don't use that at all here. Use it here to or not to according to the situation. Example, my brother said to me, "Please pass me a cup." Answer, my brother requested me to pass him a cup. Now that word please, for that word please, the word requested has come. Okay? Please. So you use requested. Next, the king said, "Soldiers, arrest the man." Answer, the king ordered the soldiers to arrest the man. The king orders, right? So you can't say the king requested. The king ordered or commanded the soldiers to arrest. Look, to, as I have said, to arrest the man. Use to in this. The last one here, the teacher said to the students, "Don't make a noise." The teacher told or asked the students not to make a noise. As I have said, you may use not to in the place of don't. So you say not to make a noise. Fine. Commands and requests. Do not use that word that here, but use the words to or not to accordingly. Okay, that is my command and my request for you. And finally, do not use inverted commas and question marks anymore in the reported speech. Just use only a full stop. Fine? Reported speech quiz. Here we go. Statements the questions I'm going to give you in statements in reported speech quiz. Here you are. Your first question. There are 15 questions. My brother said to his friend, I'm very sleepy. Your writing time or your thinking time. Okay, I'm sure you wrote it. So, the answer is, my brother told his friend that he was very sleepy. Told his friend. He says, not said to his friend becomes told his friend. And remember, we have learned, I am very sleepy. I am, the present tense. The present simple becomes the past simple. Okay, the next question, number 2. She said, I have passed the exams. Time to write the answer. Okay, are you ready for the answer? Check it. She said that she had passed the exams. Have passed becomes had passed. We all learned this before. Okay, the next question. Sita said to Prakash, I will return your money tomorrow. Writing time. Write your answer. And the answer is, Sita told Prakash that she would return his money the next day. Tomorrow becomes the next day. We had learned that, right? We are practicing now. Moving on to the quiz in statements. Continue in this one. Now, the next question is, ready? Ramu said, I saw a lion in the forest. Write your answer. What's your answer? Yeah, this one? Ramu said that he had seen a lion in the forest. Saw, simple past becomes the past perfect, had seen. Remember this? Okay, the next question. Jane said, I was washing my clothes. Give your answer. And the answer should be, Jane said that she had been washing her clothes. Was washing, had been washing. She, I changed into she. Pronoun change. Next question. Next quiz is on commands and requests. Commands and requests. Let's go for it immediately. Number 1, she said to me, close the window. Answer time. Yes, and the answer is, she asked me to close the window. Asked me to close the window. There's no word please, no need of requested. To close, I told you about to, use to in commands and requests. The next question. The captain said to the soldiers, attack the enemy. Think and write. And what's your answer? The captain ordered the soldiers to attack the enemy. Ordered can be used, commanded can be used, and once again, you are using to or not to. The next question is, I said to Tom, please lend me your book. Silence from my side. Here comes the answer. I requested Tom to lend me his book. Here, please. And then you have used requested. Your book becomes his book. Oh, we are learning once again. And the next quiz is continuing with commands and requests. The question number 4. Mrs. John said to the students, listen to me attentively. Think and write. Okay. Check it. Mrs. John asked the students to listen to her carefully. Asked. Okay? Listen to her attentively. Check it. The next question is, Mother said to me, don't waste time. Now you write the answer, don't waste time. Time up. And your answer should be, Mother told me not to waste time. Sometimes people write the answer, Mother advised me not to waste time. And so we move on. This commands and requests flies away, and reported speech quiz on question type comes up now with the very first question. He said to me, will you go there? Write the answer. Okay, and your answer should have been, he asked me if I would go there. Remember, I told you, if you can answer the question with yes or no. Will you go there? Yes, no. Then you should use if or whether. Next question. My friend said to Deepak, have you ever been to Agra? Write your answer. And what's your answer? Is it this? My friend asked Deepak if he had ever been to Agra. Look, have you been to Agra? You can say yes or no. So that's why we use if, right? The next question. I said to him, did you enjoy the movie? Well, you can answer this right now. Your time ends, and what's your answer? It is, I asked him if he had enjoyed the movie. All these questions can be answered by yes or no. That's why if, whether can be used. Questions in quiz continued. Question number 4. I said to him, when will you go there? Write your answer. So what did you write? Is it this? I asked him when he would go there. Now you see, you cannot say, when will you go there? Yes, no. It would sound funny, right? So you can't use here if or whether. You have to change looking at the verbs carefully. When will you go? When he would go. Take note, children. Next question. I said to her, what is your name? Answer. Did you write the answer? Check it with this. I asked her what her name was. What is your name? What her name was. Children, learn to change it. What is your name? What her name. See, this her. It's a girl. Her name was. Is became was. Fine? Right? You can check your marks later on, but there are some exceptions I like to share with you before I close. Means there are certain reported speech which do not follow those rules which you have seen in part 1. Like, for example, look at this. He says Harry is tired. What do you think is the answer? Well, he says that Harry is tired. Now you'll be saying, now what happened? Harry was tired. Harry is tired. Yes, because look at the reporting verb says. This is not said or said all the time. We use said. This is says. When you see says, you don't change the tenses inside. Don't change the tense when you see the reporting verb says. Harry says that he says that Harry is tired. The same with this. She says I'm hungry. So no change. She says that she is hungry. The tense does not change because of the reporting verb says, which is in the simple present tense. Now look at this one. The teacher said the earth goes round the sun. And the answer is, the teacher said that the earth goes round the sun. No change in the tenses. Why? Because the earth goes round the sun is a universal truth. This is a universal truth. Please remember universal truth. That means it cannot change. So you can't say the teacher said that the earth went round the sun. It has to be the earth goes round the sun. Same in the next example. He said honesty is the best policy. So it does not change. Even now, he said that honesty is the best policy. These are universal truth. And the tense does not change. And for SAYS says, you don't change the tense in the speech. That's all for today.